According to the Southern Poverty Law Center, as of 2019, there were 36 hate groups in our state being tracked. With this in mind, what steps are you taking or planning to make our local community safer now and in the future?
And I invite any of our panelists to speak in any particular order when it comes to this. I want this to be open dialogue, so that the structure will be minimal. This is where I will stop talking and allow our panelists to contribute.
I guess this question kind of rings true with me right now because of my position and the police department. So to let everyone know, we regularly receive intelligence information from the Pennsylvania Criminal Intelligence Center and McLaughlin, which is our regional information sharing network for the Mid-Atlantic region. We also have local information intelligence exchanges to monitor potential hate group activity. We're a small department. We don't have an entire room with 1,000 TV screens monitoring everything that's going on in the country and in the state even. So we rely on those organizations who are doing those kinds of things to help us help the community and stay on top of these things. We've been very fortunate that we have very low occurrence of hate crime in Lower Allen Township. I'm not naive enough to think outright that we're aware of all the problems in Lower Allen Township, but as they crop up, we can deal with the things that are reported to us or the things that we discover along the way. Our officers are trained to be cognizant of the possibility of a hate crime associated with any criminal act and are looking for that and are instructed to prosecute and investigate accordingly. One big-ish thing coming up, officers or departments are being required to shift a new version of the National Incident-Based Reporting System. It includes enhanced reporting and data collection to track hate crimes so that they can better be analyzed for trends and so that resources can better be focused where they can do the most good.
I'll jump in with some of the state information. Dealing with hate crimes, as you said, 36. None of them are based here in Cumberland County. So the ability for them to keep track, I think it's good, number one, that they are tracking them. I think that says a lot in the sense that there are certain ones of record that they need to watch and they should be watching because no one should be targeted for any particular reason, whether it's their race, whether it's their religion, for any particular reason. I have been advocating for victims for most of my career, and there's absolutely no reason that someone should be a victim, mainly because something that's personal to them. Everyone has a choice to live their life as they should. And Pennsylvania right now has the crime of ethnic intimidation. And that is a felony, possibly of the first degree, that could be possibly 20 years and a $25,000 fine. That's already on the books right now, and that's one that the FBI in most cases comes in and deals with. And we many times have, when we have a crime that occurs, we do have certain types of certain situations where they can be charged with a higher crime because it was considered a hate crime. And because it was targeted on somebody that very much was only targeted because of their belief, because of their race, because of their lifestyle, whatever that may be. So right now, we're always looking to make sure we can stand up and defend the best we can and give folks like Mr. Crone the ability to prosecute when a hate crime happens. And sometimes, unfortunately, keeping up with some of the bad guys, they come up with some things much faster than we can pass a law. And I know that the captain would agree with that fact that sometimes we're behind the eight ball, but trying to keep up with what it is that they want to prosecute in order to keep people aware that somebody shouldn't be made a victim simply because of what they believe or who they are.
Mr. Goodman, Dr. Allen, or Dr. Campbell?
You're still on question one, is that correct?
That is correct, Dr. Allen.
So let me just say this, and without putting it in a format, the NAACP, as well as community responders and other police departments, Derry, Harrisburg, and others like that, I receive calls all week long, 7 days, 24, about incidents and the performances that happen within the community, its citizenry. And what has been phenomenal to us in the NAACP is that we do have other figures and other organizations that we can reach out to, because we are a civil rights organization and not a police department. We don't have a legal department that for domestics, for other crimes and things like that. We deal with pattern civil rights violations and other things like that. But I assure all of our panelists and our guests and our students that are with us tonight that we are aware of hate crimes, anti-Semitism, and all those things that go on within the community. We do, President Allen does hear about those things. So we respond in kind to those organizations that do render help in those areas.
Thank you, Dr. Allen.
Oh, okay, I was having a little trouble unmuting myself. So as the Young Professionals of Color grow, we're a young organization. We've been around for 4 years, but however, we're carrying the mantle of organizations that came before us that were in Harrisburg that were serving a similar purpose. So our mission is to create community for the Black and Brown professional collective in the greater Harrisburg area. We're looking at the metropolitan statistical area of Harrisburg, Carlisle, and we endeavor to basically help folks endure here. And one of the things that is difficult to do here is, particularly if you don't live around, if you can't live or you can't work around folks who are of your same nationality, ethnicity, understanding all the time, it's difficult for folks to stay. They want to go to places that are browner and blacker. So one of the things that one of our members did is she started something called HARP Now, and it is called I think I put it in the chat already for Sergio to put out, but or if I didn't, I will. But HARP Now is basically a platform for harassment and assault reporting, particularly based on race. And what we've been able to do with that platform, Sergio, do you mind if I share my screen? Or
yeah. Give me 1 second and I'll give you access. Just give me 1 second.
Thank you so much, because I just want to show everybody what that website looks like, because we've been trying to push it out over the last few months. Actually, it started actually before now. Maybe in January, we started talking about using this platform to help catalog certain, hate crimes, hate groups, hate happenings, things that have been kind of, oh, there we go. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to share that. So this is HARP. It's the harassment, assaultment reporting platform. What we want to do is make sure that we are cataloging the events, particularly in the Central Pennsylvania area, because we don't have a mechanism that does that for all of us. There are kind of, one organization is doing it here, one organization is doing it there. But what we do with that data is help inform our members and the wider community of any threats or any problems that they could run into that they may not know about, and how to deal with them. So the other thing is, if a person comes to us and says, I experienced this thing, we can look at our database, look at the survey, see how people resolved it, because we ask the question of how was it resolved, what resources do you use, do you still need a resource? And we then help our members and the wider community, not just our dues paying members, but the wider community as well. We say, okay, we had somebody deal with a similar situation, here are the steps they took. Let's connect you with those resources so that you can also solve this issue. Not everything is solvable, but we try to approach it that way so that we can let folks know there's hope if they experience something, because we're on the end of experiencing. We aren't tracking hate groups or hate crimes in order to exact any kind of retribution or punishment, but we are tracking them to help the community deal with them, and that's a very important thing. So that this is the platform. As you can see, here's the website is harpnow.org. Especially share it with folks who are experiencing different issues, don't know how to solve them, and are looking for support. So that's the end that we're on with that stuff.
Thank you, Dr.
Kay hit all the points that I wanted to say, so I'll save. I'll pass on this one.
Thank you, Mr. Goodman. I guess and it's more of a question to ponder than to answer at the moment, but with me in my role with Cedar Cliff High School, I wonder what efforts are being made for our students to know that these things are happening. That's just something that I kind of want to, and again, it doesn't have to be answered right now, but again, I'm wondering, do our students know this? So I'll go ahead and move on to the second question.
Well, still the question is, they know, and it's going on. If it's going on in any high school, it's going on in all high schools, whether it's Lebanon, whether it's Cumberland County, whether it's Halifax, or all of those. We get student cries, student letters, and memos and things like that from a lot of students in the high schools, within the county. So things are happening, not that they're being said, vocalized or publicized, but they do go on.
Thank you, Dr. Allen.